everybody. Thanks for joining me today. It's my season finale for Tuesdays with Grace, and you know what? Thank you, every single one of you, for paying attention and being a part of this wonderful event. It's really helped me grow as a quilter, and I hope that we've imparted some, tips and tricks to you as well. Let me jump in and tell you about what's going on through the summer, because we have a lot of events, and Tuesdays with Grace isn't actually going away. I have pre-recorded some very special segments for Tuesdays with Grace, going along and with the troubleshooting the long arm tension guide. So that's what we're going to have every Tuesday, a little segment. There's 13 weeks on tension and your long arm and even your domestic machines. Once you start understanding how tension works, it's going to help you so much with your quilting, with your sewing, and everything that you do. So join me every Tuesday for troubleshooting long arm tension. Oh, and not just long arm. I learned a lot, and some of what I've learned has helped me with my current projects. And that's what I'm going to show you in just a minute. Join us also for the Gentlemen of Grace. It's kind of a fun, quirky little segment where some of the guys on the Grace team compete for the title of Gentlemen of Grace. And that's a fun one to come and watch. And then we have our summer camp. That's very exciting. I'm doing a little segment that's off the grid. So it's quilting off the grid, and it's using grid patterns to design and create. I didn't know there was so much to using grids, but I'm going to use them from here on out. It will really help you with your layout and your quilting designs, and as you're laying out your patterns for your quilt. Let me just talk about this one behind me. It's my little pineapple quilt. I did eons and eons ago when we did our first hoop frame. This is the quilt that I did, the little pineapples. You've probably seen it in ads. And yes, I have one pineapple that's upside down because I like things different and I don't like the same old, same old. This was really a lot of fun to quilt. I figured out my own continuous design on the pineapple, and I just did some fun background fillers to fill it in. So do you and have a lot of fun with your quilting designs. This year with Tuesdays with Grace, it was really good for me because I got to really practice my free motion quilting, and I hope that you've been practicing as well. I love the automation, don't get me wrong. I love what it can do, but free motion quilting, I really want to become a better free motion quilter. So it's been really nice to be able to do that. Let me talk about a couple of other things that we're going to be showing, as some customers have presented their quilts and submitted them so I can show them off. I love show and tell, and these are from Sandra, I believe. She sent in her first quilt on her cutie frame. It's a big quilt. Notice she had a great accomplishment, and I think she was trying out different machines on the cutie frame, and she ended up with her Thoth machine, and she named it Thelma. I love that we name our machines. That's awesome. And then we have a couple from Robin Anderson. She did this adorable boat quilt. It's a little sea vessel and sailboat. That's what I was trying to think of. It says a little sailboat, and she just did some beautiful work on it, and she should be proud. It's awesome. And then this is her beautiful panel. She had this peacock panel, and she put the colors with it, and it's stunning. She did such a wonderful job in piecing it and just applying all those beautiful colors around it, and the border makes it really, really nice. Thanks, Robin. All right, let me jump in and talk to you about a few of the things that we've worked on throughout this coming season. So this season we've worked on number one, the ruler quilt. Now I don't have this finished, but I am working on it, and I'm having a lot of fun. And you'll notice that on this quilt I did my little pebbles around this area right here. I did those free motion because I'm really trying to work on my scale and how precise it is. Now, my scale and my spacing. I did this little design here with the little circle, Leah Day circle ruler. I just made the little leaf design on all 4 corners, and then I did the border around it to accentuate this. What's fun about this is I have a flat spot I found on my frame at home. I have a nick in my tracks, so you'll notice that on some of these pebbles I get a little flat spot as I'm going around. So watch your tracks, clean them off. This is really good for you to wipe them down and fill. If there are any nicks in it, it can really throw off your designs, and they are replaceable. So did you know that you could purchase new tracks if you go to graceframe.com? We will need to know what frame you have because we have different styles of tracks, but make sure you're replacing them. It's like the tires on your car. You can feel if you have a flat tire, so make sure you're wiping it down and you're getting rid of the buildup. Just move it back and forth, front to back. If you feel a little hiccup in it, that means that there's something going on and your wheel is hitting something and it's going to throw off your design. So just check that out. I'm going to get this finished this summer, but I'm going to take my time because I'm really enjoying taking my time and making sure it's what I want. I want to encourage you that not to hurry through the process. Allow yourself enough time that if you see something that you don't like, that you thought would be really nice, all of a sudden you don't like it, you know, unpick it. I'm here to tell you that unpicking is sometimes your best friend because you can get rid of what you thought was really good, and it didn't turn out to be. So I have a couple of unpicking spots. Right here, I thought pebbles would look really good right here in this white. I didn't like it, so I unpicked it. And then I was trying to do some up downs, but that flat spot was really throwing it off. So I took it off and I brought it down here to work so I could work on it here until I get my tracks replaced. Okay, so that's the I rule. All right, remember our little emojis? I'm telling you, if you need a summer project for your kids or your grandkids, this is the project for you. Go and watch the videos on how we did this. I did it all on the frame with the couching foot. And this one here, I did so that they could change the faces. This is really fun. It's a fun one, so I can change the lips to this, or I did this one as well. So if you need something for your kids to work on, this is the project for you. They will have a great time picking out the emoji that they like, and they will have even a better time using the machine and the frame to sew it up. I did this one for my daughter because she's always rolling her eyes at me like, oh mom. And then this one's for my new soon-to-be daughter-in-law. This is her favorite emoji as well, and I just made these into pillows so that they could play with. So try that out and check it out. We had some great downloadable projects for you to work on, some templates. I did these glasses. I haven't put the Velcro on it yet, but they're a lot of fun. All right, so that's just 2 of the projects. Remember my little Maverick quilt, my little fox quilt, and my Vixen quilt. I made a pattern and a design, and I made a little fox. So here's my little Maverick. I haven't quite finished it yet, but here's the quilt because as I was quilting it, I wanted to add a few more elements to it. So here's Maverick. He's the blue fox. That's the boy fox. This is a little baby quilt that I did. And on this, I did some trees. I found a pantograph from Ambright Designs for trees. And I did one big one right here to match him. And I did them on this size. And then I just free motioned on the fox himself. What I'm going to put over here in this area, and I haven't quite got it done, is I'm going to put Little Red Riding Hood. I'm in the process of designing her right now, and then I'm going to put a little teddy bear right down here at the foot of the tree. My dad, he was a singer. We would get in the car, we would travel along, and he'd just sing song after song after song. Some of them were really quirky and a lot of fun. But one he loved to sing to my nieces and nephews. He'd put them on his knee and he'd sing Teddy Bear Picnic. So that's where I got that idea. It's a kind of an ode to my sweet dad. He's been gone a long time. He passed away when I was really quite young. My mom was a widow longer than she was ever married. So kudos to her on raising 9 kids on her own. She really deserves a medal for doing that. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm designing them. I'm using the automation to trace around the little designs, having a lot of fun, taking my time though, again, to get it right. Now, on these designs that I'm doing, I will impart them to you. They will not be continuous line designs. I wanted to talk to you about that. There are times to use continuous line designs and times that you don't want to. When you want details, and I wanted details on the face, and I didn't want continuous line going from one eye to the other. So it's going to stop and then start in several different places. But that's okay. It's just one design on the quilt. Now, if I was doing the same design across the quilt, yes, I would want it to be continuous line. But when it's one special motif, it can have some stops and starts. So let me show you my little Vixen quilt. Oh, a question. Okay. What's the question? Oh, where do we get the fox pattern? You know what? I'll have Amanda repost that one because it's a really cute one and you'll love doing it. Here's little Vixen. Now, I wanted to see what the design would look like. In fact, this is my first prototype on it, but I did it in pinks for a little girl quilt. Now, I used the automation all the way across this, but I used the fabrics to help me quilt it. So this little swirl design, I just went in and added to make the swirls. I used the pink, so it didn't stand out so much, and I did an edge-to-edge design. Now, I wish I had done the same size right here, but that's okay. It's just a little different and a lot of fun. And notice I didn't fill in the little hooves or the little paws right here, but I did fill in everywhere else. And this was not automated. I just free motioned it. I tried to make it look like fur. I just think the little swirls are a little fun design, and I used patterny clips to clip out the fox. And then I sewed the Vixen. I don't know if you can see Vixen on top. There we go. There we go. You can kind of see Vixen. I quilted her out one of the weeks so that you could see it. And then I just cropped out around her to sew the edge-to-edge design. That's done with patterning clips, and you will use it over and over and over again once you do it. Now, my large quilt is not done, okay? And I'm still quilting it. I'm taking my time though. I've noticed that on quilts that have really busy fabrics, you can't see the quilting. So don't spend a lot of time and a lot of detail on the quilting. This is just my words of wisdom to you. If you have like solid fabrics, notice that on this one, you can see the quilting much better. So spend some time. And now this was done with borders and corners. I haven't finished it yet because I'm turning the quilt. No, I wanted to tell you what I was going to do. I'm going to not turn the quilt. What I wanted to do was get the process down of how to quilt a border design turned correctly so you can sew down the quilt. So that's what I'm going to do this summer while we're on hiatus. I'm going to work on some of these techniques and tricks so that I can teach you how to do it. And because that I want to learn. I'm always all about learning and trying something new and different. So that's what I'm going to do. I took this quilt off just to bring it to you so I could show you, but I'm not going to turn it. I'm going to sew it all the way down, keeping it just from top to bottom so that I can write down how to do this technique. If you have a frame that you can't quilt a larger quilt on it, this will be very good for you to learn how to do so you can quilt down the sides all at once. Now, It's going to take you a little longer, but that's okay. We work with what we have and the tools that we have, and if we can't afford something else, this is going to be our way of accomplishing something very accurate and precise and give us the look that we want. So, a couple other things I want to talk to you about. Not only are we going to do the tension guide, but we have a survey online. Please print it off and download it. Or not download it, just sign up for it and answer the questions. It's got questions of how old are you, okay? You don't have to answer it, but try to be as accurate as possible within the realm of whatever ish you want to be, okay? And then it's asking you which of the following social media platforms do you use. I really am not a social media guru, and I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook or YouTube. I do on YouTube, I have to say that. Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, what do you follow? What is it that you like? We're trying to learn more about you and how you think so that we can apply whatever we need to help you. What are you using for your social media? Do you get patterns? Do you watch videos off of Facebook? And then, do you use the QR codes? So that's one big one. I haven't till recently, but man, I found they come in really handy at a restaurant. So, how do you usually watch Tuesdays with Grace? Do you live stream it? How often do you watch me on Tuesdays with Grace? And then, just a little bit more about how do you learn with Tuesdays with Grace. Just answer the questions to the best of your ability, and that will really help us. So read through it. I just didn't want you to be blindsided. I wanted you to know and understand what is on the survey. Sometimes I'll click on it and then I'll think, why did I take this survey? I really want to encourage you, and then I want to encourage you to have others join you and follow us. Coming up this fall, we have a lot of great things that are going to be going on. So much is happening here at Grace Company. It's a great place to be working, a great place to be a part of. The inventions that we're coming up with, the ways to help you with your quilting, just let us know what we can do to help you. And then stay tuned and keep joining us every Tuesday for Tuesdays with Grace and learn more about tension. I really want to encourage you to do that, because by the end of it, you will be such an expert and understand tension and how it relates to you with your quilting, sewing, whatever you're doing, that you will have the best, the sweetest, the kindest home ever, because we've eliminated tension in our lives. So thanks for joining me today. Have a lot of fun this summer. Stay busy. Email me, Karla with a K, Karla, and join me for more Tuesdays with Grace. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.